All right, so I think each of these days I'm going to have a daily anthology uploaded of the things I'm doing, and I will now explain what my week is like or scheduled to be. I've taken 7 days off from work. I've got a whole bunch of stuff here to do. I've got a list of tasks that need done, and I've got them scheduled out basically day by day to keep me from getting overwhelmed. I received a comment on the porch repair video where someone said something about pick up that porch. Yeah, okay. That's going to happen. But so here's the thing, right? In about 2014 or 15, both of my parents were diagnosed with cancer. And I'm not leaning on that as a crutch. I'm just saying it was traumatic. Things got crazy. My dad went, then my mom went. I was dealing with the loss of my parents while also having to deal with, like, my sister having severe mental health and substance issues at the time, which thank God she's been, many years sober. I'm not trying to get into her business either. But so I'm dealing with that. And then, like, the world starts really going to shit, and I'm dealing with that. And then my wife picks up and leaves, and I'm dealing with that. And then the pandemic hits, and I'm dealing with that. And through the course of that, I managed to keep my vehicle running. I keep my house from leaking if possible, trying to make sure that I got the lights and the water on. So forgive me if some of this plastic shit just hadn't got took out, that the opportunity or the motivation or whatever wasn't there. A lot of this stuff is getting taken out this week. I recognize that. It needs done. I've got time. I'm going to do it. So I'm taking recycling in shifts so I don't overwhelm the drop center. But some of these cans out here are going to go. Some of this plastic's going to go. And then in several days, once I don't know how often they empty out their drop containers. Once things are available for room, I will bring more. So today's first task is something I've been kind of working on, and I was like, yeah, that's right, I was going to make a video. This task is to do the drain tile clean out over next to the master bedroom. This is a place where the carpenter ants had been nesting previously. I didn't really notice any in the dirt that I have just vacuumed out of that. Ugh. Really not seeing ant activity, which is good. I'm concerned that they're going to come in some other way or whatever, because they were really bad there last year. But I think where they ended up going into in the center of the house or something, with the air conditioning in the summer, they were too cold and they started coming out through the bathroom vent. And I just sprayed it with toxic poison, and the ants all crawled over it and died immediately. Unfortunately, I think that may have also had something to do with one of my cats passing. Got into the bathroom when I had it closed off. But anyways, what we got here, I'll try and give you a look. Turn on the light here. What we got here is, I think this thing goes down about 4 feet. About 3 feet down, but it's really not chipping out anymore. And I don't want to break any of the plastic in there if that's actually the end. So, because you can see where it goes down. But the other thing is, my dad built this pre-YouTube era, and he did not himself know about like full-on drain tile design. So I think he may have started high and moved down low. I don't know. So in any case, as far as I can get down, I've got down, and now I have this just under a half gallon. I have superheated this water in the microwave. It's got a whole bunch of borax and Dawn dish soap, antibacterial, and we're now pouring it down. So we'll see. Give that a few minutes or whatever and see what else happens. If it pours down because it was just a blocked layer or what the deal is. But so the next thing to do will be to make sure that the places where the ants came in the last time are closed off or coated in dish soap or whatever. Right now, I got a whole bunch of old clothing that's been kind of stuffed up in the places, but underneath of that was heavily sprayed with ant killer. And like I said, I think I killed their reproductive cycle, so as long as new ones don't get in. But I haven't seen any yet. So kind of hoping this will work out. So that's going to be all for that bit there. Kind of my thought today is I want to kind of clear out some of these invasive honeysuckles, scout for the non-invasives, some fallen tree branch stuff here that it can be cleared out, and some of this ditch stuff I'm going to get out. And basically day by day here, I'm going to kind of phase through clearing some of that brush, cutting some fresh brush, trimming back some of the grass, taking care of winterization tasks I've got. Many of these panes, some of them are okay. Some of them like this are clearly not okay. So my goal is to get 2 of these done per day. Right now I've got some brand new replacement snap lock. And if I run out and they don't have any more, then I'm also going to be able to use a glue gun to some extent. In previous years I used Gorilla Tape, and it mostly sort of worked to kind of keep things together, but some of these it really just didn't matter. And then also, like, I don't know, I may end up having to reapply some of this so that these don't, not that anything can get out through the plexi, but if the plex fails, something could get in. So yeah, I got projects. I got firewood to move and split. I got stuff in the woods to do. I got stuff in the yard to do. Got stuff in the house and the porch to do. And today is the first of 7 days that I have to do it. So when I have more updates, I will add something to it. Can't tell if it's leaf blower or ultralight aircraft. All right, so it's been a little bit since the first segment, and I decided to come over here and do some cutting. So what I did was started right here. I started cutting everything along the fence, all the way down to the point where there's a tree over the fence, and nothing else I can get at that angle. Started at this side, start cutting through here too. This one right here is a non-invasive honeysuckle, so I left it. There's a couple of stumpy ends that were too thick to cut with the clippers or the loppers, and so that's all that's standing in this one. But yeah, you can see here that's quite a bit. This is kind of prairied out here a little bit. I'm trying to see if I can get a little bit of tree line or something to grow naturally, but all that was really popping up was these invasives. And so we're going to see if that changes now. And we got lots of the wildflowers here too. And there's some ones that are questionable that I just don't think I have to get the chainsaw or the reciprocator out to do those. That'll be a different phase. I did manage to kind of dig down a little farther considerably into the mud with that water that I poured in. And so now I'm just kind of letting it sit and see what happens. Anyways, this is how far I got. I'm going to have to get the chainsaw and start cutting some log segments on this ash tree. But that's all cut down. Everything there that you're seeing is cut down. You can see the difference. And put it into a bag. All the cans that were here, all the cans that were there have been put into a bag. So here's the cans and the plastics. So these are going to the recycling center very shortly. I have to run into town to take care of a quick errand, but before I do that, I'm actually going to get these 2 ladders stowed because that was on the list. So what we got, it's going to seem weird, but this is the only paper I had at the time. Got the porch tile clean out, cleared. I didn't actually spray for ants, but I did do the soap and the borax, but I'm going to continue that through the next couple of days to make sure. Later tonight, I'll go through and do the rest of the furnace closeout. I've got the intake covered. I've got one of the vents closed, and I got a couple other ones closed up and blocked, but I got some more to do. and then ladders. And then recycling from kitchen and yard. So mostly just doing porch and yard today. So yeah, basically I get the ladders took care of, and then I've got to do a couple of porch plexis. And really, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the second one from the first column where I'd already glued the one, and I'm going to go ahead and glue up the second one because it looks like it doesn't need to be completely replaced. So assuming that is the case, then I'll just do the one there, and then once they're finished, I will install them. That will be the two for today. So yeah, I know it's early. I got a bunch of clipping I can be doing here in a little bit as well. Probably continue to do that. I also kind of cleared out some of the wood that was on the ground over in that area when I had to come around the garage looking for something while I was out working on the other side of the house. So I am kind of just everywhere that I scoot, I'm doing a little something along the way so that everything kind of has a the path has been drifted, and the, stuff that needs done, everything's got little bits kind of moving as they go. So by the end of this week here, it should look like a whirlwind came through and changed a bunch of shit. So yeah, that's the current progress. Things are very gorgeous right now. The weather's very nice. And just kind of taking my first day here with a lot of hard work, and eventually I'm going to end up being fed up, done with it, get cleaned up, have some food, and relax the rest of the night. So further updates as they come. That's hypersonic contrail. That is a blocked register. That is a blocked ceiling register. That is a blocked ceiling register. That is a blocked wall register that is closer to the ceiling. That is another blocked wall register that is closer to the ceiling. That is a blocked footboard register. That actually doesn't have a register. That's why I do it like that. Between those being blocked off and this. So this is the one that took an entire pack of glue sticks. This thing cracked and did it all wrong. But it's on there solid. Solid. This one, not quite as much, but that's because the snap lock is actually somewhat intact. I drizzled a whole bunch of glue along the top side of the snap-on part. Any places that were coming out, I glued underneath and pressed down. Used a little bit less glue, was able to do it more effectively. Then I got done, and I realized there's these gaps. So I filled some of those gaps in and pressed them down a bit too. And so like it's better than it was a little. And then I had to kind of do a little adjustment on here to get these in straight. But anyways, that's my goal, is to get 2 of these per day. So I'm counting that one as the first one, since that one took forever last week. Finishing that on this one because I had a very active day. I've logged 7.5, 8 hours of just labor at my own house off the clock for free. And lastly, that is the furnace inlet all the way up there. And so I've already got the filter out, and this piece of corrugated. It's about a 1/2 inch thick. It's some kind of refrigerator or stove box or something. It does a very good job of this. And then there's a little pull tab at the bottom made out of duct tape. It runs all the way to the other side, so you can pop it out of the spot. It's a 20 by 20 by 1. So that concludes all of the things that I needed to do on Monday based on the list that I made. I'll do a recap now. Okay, so this is going to be the recap of my first of 7 days. Let's see. First thing I did, well, let's go through the list. The first thing that I did was went out and opened up the porch drain tile clean out. Cleared as much as I could out of there, vacuumed out a whole bunch of dirt, and then boiled a bunch of water, added some soap and borax, poured it on down. There will be video of that. Let's see. We'll go in sequential order. I pulled 2 ladders up last night because I actually did the furnace AC air inlet last night. And that made a huge difference, having a large opening into the uninsulated attic via the furnace, right up at the place where all the heat gathers. Closing that up was good. So I actually kind of got a little bit of a head of schedule on that. You hopping down, baby? Here, you go, careful. Let's see. I got the recycling. Did I show that? I can't remember if I showed that where I got it. Anyways, yeah, that whole bucket is empty just in case I didn't show it. The one with all of the milk cartons and stuff in the round bucket on the porch. You'll see it at the intro video. I got a whole bunch of cans. I showed that in the yard. No, maybe I did show that on a little clip of it before going. I got the 40-foot ladder, which slides down into the 20-foot sections. As a 20-footer, I got it down and moved back over to where it belongs on the other side of the garage. I also got the 9-foot Vulcan down, shortened it, folded it, carried it down out in front of the house. Eventually, these are going to come onto the porch after the porch has been cleaned. Oh, so then I took the recycling in, got myself some food, gassed the car up, made a couple of errand stops, came back home. I also, in between, did a whole bunch of clipping, which will be in the video. And then when I got home, I went after my late shopping trip and the sun was going down. You'll see some sunset video in here. Went up to the top and just did a little bit more clipping of the stuff that's laying in the ditch, kind of helping segment everything out. Eventually, it will just need to basically be sorted into piles, which are then kind of bundled up and hauled down to be burned. And then finishing out the day with the 2 plexis, which I've got video of, and the furnace closeout, which is now, of course, all of the vents and registers that you will see as well. So that is my entirety of my Monday tasks. For tomorrow, I need to install the 100-foot ice dam melter on the west side. I need to do some straightening out along the wall with some of the cat litter containers and everything out there that were stacked. The reason they're all stacked out like that is that if the snow comes down, that kind of helps keep it from blowing straight across. And it kind of leaves a path for anything getting in and out from underneath of the little drainage ditch cover over there. So I've got to do that. And then I'm going to do a trash pickup on the porch. There's a bunch of stuff on there that I can get out. It'll probably be burned on Wednesday. And other than that, like the ice dam melter is going to take a while. I'm going to have to, do some preemptive laying out and figure out how far it's going to go and what the best way to set it up is, and then go about doing it. I'm going to do porch plexis, and then I'm going to straighten up out there. And I think probably everything beyond that is just going to be clear brush and clip stuff up top at the ditches. Wednesday's plan, I've got burning at the end of the day. I've got outdoor grass cutting. I've got clearing the way down from the car. let's see. That's the main tasks for that day. Mostly outdoors on Wednesday. Thursday is going to be car day, taking more recycling. And I actually might take more recycling on Wednesday and then do it again on Friday. After Wednesday, the winterization should basically be done. I've also got to do some expanding foam into the boxes that my space heaters came in, because those are what I use to block off the basement style windows when it gets really cold out. And so I'm going to want to have those filled up with that foam insulation. That'll make the blockage a little more effective than the air for insulation in between the box. So I'll probably do that Tuesday or Wednesday. So yeah, Thursday's just car day, taking recycling, yard stuff. Friday, I'm going to do some house cleaning. I'll be doing some house cleaning inside anyway as time goes, because obviously I'm going to have extra time here. Saturday, I'm going to focus on cleaning the floors. That's sweeping, probably some kind of damp mop or something. Got to be careful with the laminate floors, Swiffer or something. And vacuuming. And then Sunday says rest or clear brush, which I'll probably do some brush clearing. I'll also probably do some brush clearing on Saturday. And each of these days I will be doing 2 plexis. So hopefully I get most of everything that needs taken care of, while I'm also cleaning the porch, straightening the yard, getting everything kind of ready to be snowed upon. And in between all of this also, which I don't really have directly listed, is firewood gathering, wood cutting. That's kind of in the brush category. And I believe in one of my earlier videos that'll be cut into this daily omnibus here, I believe I also discussed that, about how I'm just kind of sometimes tinkering little things as I walk by an area that I know is going to be a project, move one thing, do one thing. Pause for a moment in my quest before, moving a bunch of walnut branches out of the grass, because I'm trying to make it so that I can get all of the grassy areas cut down a little bit shorter. All the places that I'm leaving up for meadow are going to be like snow fencing. And eventually here, I like it to be something where if I decide I want to have a bonfire or some people out or whatever, then I can do that, and the place won't be embarrassingly dirty or whatever. So this concludes my day's work. I'm now going to relax, going to eat, and tomorrow we do it again.